Good morning. Today we're going to look at a severe weather phenomenon that you may never have heard of before. It's called a downburst, and it's a pretty kind of complex thing that can happen in severe thunderstorms. And that's one of the big things you must have for this to happen. You have a storm that has a very strong updraft, but with time, there's a lot of cooling that can happen in the midsections of a thunderstorm due to heavy rain and hail. But as that updraft gets weaker, that's whenever you start to get the setup for a downburst, because remember, you've got all this weight kind of collecting there in the middle portion of the thunderstorm. What eventually happens is, as that updraft weakens, the bottom of the storm pretty much falls straight down, and as it hits the ground, it's not like a normal thunderstorm wind where it goes just in one direction. It spreads and fans out equally, and that can produce a lot of damage, sometimes winds even higher than what we see with some kind of lower end tornadoes. It also can cause huge problems in the aviation industry. This has happened before where airplanes are coming by, you get a downburst, they fly into it, and it pushes it out of altitude very quickly. So that's why radars are so important near airports, so we can look for those downbursts. And there are two different types, two different words to use to describe the sizes. So you have micro and macro. If it's micro, it's less than 2.5 miles in diameter from where that wind hits the ground and pushes out. And then if it's a macro downburst or a macro burst, it goes beyond 2.5 miles. So it's much larger in that footprint. I know. It's definitely different. It's not your tornado with the swirling winds. It's not a straight line wind that pushes out. It's like an equal cone or fan of wind coming straight down from a thunderstorm and pushing out. That's today's Weather 101 lesson. I'll see you back right here again soon for our next lesson.